The majority of Americans oppose the wall, we know that. We know how it will divide our communities, how much it will cost our pockets, and now we're finally grasping how much it will impact our environment. Natural habitats, rare species, and tribal lands are all at risk because of Trump's intent to build the wall between the U.S. Mexico border. But an environmental disruption like this wouldn't just have severe consequences for the environment, but for human beings as well. So let us explain. Environmental watchdogs have been sounding the alarm about the potential harm of a physical border wall for a long time now. Back in 2006, when President George W. Bush signed a law authorizing the construction of a wall along 700 miles, scientists said it could do serious damage to the delicate ecosystem that make up the region. They said that a wall could damage vulnerable desert plants and prevent wildlife from moving around freely to look for food and water and shelter. They say that it could put endangered species at risk of extinction, and that it would concentrate undocumented immigrant foot traffic in very narrow bottleneck areas that could not only risk their lives, but also severely damage the land. The scientists were right. After President Bush's wall was built, and yes, a wall does already exist, scientists found that several threatened or endangered species had their natural habitats drastically reduced. And today, risks like those are still real. Our southwestern borderlands are home to more than 1,500 native plants and animal species, 6 of which are either endangered or vulnerable. But these changes don't just threaten the animals themselves, they also threaten us too. In 2017, officials with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services tried to warn U.S. Customs and Border Protection about the potential harm the wall would cause. In a draft letter, they said that the proposed segments of the new wall would restrict the movements of certain wildcats, blocking their access to water and mates. They also raised concerns about how walls would trap wildlife in the event of a catastrophic flood or a wildfire, driving down their numbers even more. But according to the Washington Post, those concerns never made it into the final draft letter. And on top of all of that, the destruction of natural habitats would also make it impossible to conduct research on the region, a region that is renowned for its biodiversity and boasts an ecotourism industry that brings in almost $11 million every year. Even worse, there's the Arizona-based Native American tribe, whose tribal nation resides on both sides of the U.S. and Mexico border. So not only would the wall damage the ecosystem of their land, but it would also disrupt the tribe's cultural and spiritual connection to it, a connection that has already been jeopardized multiple times. So again, there's many reasons to oppose the wall. Apprehensions are down, most drugs do come through ports of entry, border towns are among the safest in the country, and the undocumented population continues to decrease. So a wall is not only inhumane and impractical, but as you just learned, it's also about to destroy our environment. Call your representative, make your voice heard, and let the record show that this big, beautiful wall is really just a big, ugly disaster.